Hi, this is Chris Schroeder. Welcome back to the ACCO Legislative Update. Well, the legislative session is about halfway through. As we get to the halfway point, the legislature this week completed their floor work, with bills of origin passing off their respective floors. The next deadline is April 23rd, where bills from the opposite chamber must be heard in committee. Following that process, we'll start to see budget bills surface. Let's talk about a couple bills that were heard this week. First, House Bill 3919 by Representative Pfeiffer. This allows the county fair boards to be 9 members. They are currently, this will allow them to possibly go to 5 members if a county wishes. This passed the House floor 94-0 and now heads to the Senate. Next, Senate Bill 134 by Senator Fricks. This is the bill that allows county retirees to return to work in 6 months. Currently, they must wait 1 year. This bill passed the Senate 47-0 with the title off and now is eligible to move to the House. HJR 1069, this is a bill by Representative Lawson that we've had some conversation on in the last couple of weeks. This deals with modifying the mapping technology for county boundaries. This bill, like I said, we've had a lot of discussion on it. We look to see an amendment probably coming in the Senate when it gets over to committee, but it did pass off the House floor 78-14. Lastly, I want to touch on some property tax bills. Currently, there's about 7 bills that have got through one chamber or the other that we're following pretty closely. We started with 75 to 100, so we've really limited it down and we kind of know what's out there and what's serious at this point. First, SJR 39 by Paxton and Hilbert. This lowers the fair cash values on homesteads and ag land from 3% to 1%, and it lowers the current 5% values down to 3%. So this is quite a big hit on the fair cash values, and I think really the thing we got to look for here is this is going to limit growth in the future tremendously, not only for counties, but when we look at schools and bonds and everything else. The next bill, HJR 1081 by Representative Manger and Senator Rader. This would eliminate the income threshold, allowing senior freeze eligibility to be based primarily on age and residency. So this does open up the senior freeze a little more. It's not a big of financial hit as SJR 39. The last bill, Senate Bill 227 by Senator Daniels and Representative Moore. This exempts certain pipeline property from ad valorem assessment. And the assessors have been working pretty hard on this bill. We thank them for that, but it's dealing with the property coming from the well to the meter. So these are only 3 bills I was going to touch on. I think the thing we really have to remember is some of these bills may not be huge financial hits. They could be $5 million, $20 million on a statewide level, but if we pass 2 or 3 of these, I think then we get to the point where it really starts to put a dent in the budgets of local government. So we got to stay educating on these property tax bills and be sure to let your legislators know how these are going to affect your budgets and other local governments in your county. Lastly, I want to touch on the conference. We have a conference coming up next week, Wednesday and Thursday. Look forward to seeing everyone there. We got some good workshops. Really excited for the Governor's Forum. We got several candidates coming in that are running for governor, and we got a forum on property tax and kind of the issues we're looking at for the remainder of session and how they're going to affect counties. We hope to see you there. That's all I have this week. Thanks for watching the ACCO Legislative Update.